Welcome back to the Book Nook podcast. Today we're going to be diving into A Mother's Promise, a memoir by Renee Salt, Kate Thompson.
Wow, Renee Salt.
And this is, not just any memoir.
Right.
Renee is a 95-year-old Holocaust survivor.
Oh, wow.
And she's chosen to frame this incredible story as a love letter to her mother, Sala.
So what struck me right away was just the incredible journey that they go on. I mean, from ghettos to slave labor to the horrors of Auschwitz and Bergen-Belsen, to have lived through all of that and then to share your story.
Yeah.
I mean, that's remarkable.
Yeah, it really is. And like you're saying, the scope is huge. I mean, the book spans from the invasion of Poland to Renee's liberation.
Wow.
You get this sense of how their lives were completely upended.
Yeah.
There's this one line that just stayed with me, and I wrote it down.
Okay.
From invasion to liberation, there was one constant. One hand that clutched hers, her mother's.
It's such a powerful image, isn't it? And it speaks to, I think, what's at the heart of this memoir. Sala wasn't just there emotionally for her.
Right.
She actively fought to protect Renee. I mean, we're talking about split-second decisions, acts of defiance against the SS.
Wow.
Even moments where they had to separate to increase their chances of survival.
It makes you think, like, what any of us would do, in those circumstances.
Right.
The level of courage and quick thinking is just incredible.
Yeah.
I was particularly struck by the choice that Sala had to make to send Renee to work in a factory while she stayed behind.
Right.
I mean, that could not have been easy.
Absolutely. And what I think is so fascinating about this book is that it doesn't shy away from, the complexities of their relationship.
Right.
It acknowledges the strain, the arguments, the moments of doubt, and yet through it all, you see that unwavering love shine through.
Yeah.
It's a very human portrayal of survival.
Right.
Not just a tale of heroism.
Yeah. It sounds like this book offers a really nuanced perspective on the mother-daughter dynamic, especially in, such extreme circumstances.
Yeah.
And I have to say, it's inspiring to see Renee finding love after everything she went through.
Right.
Meeting her husband, Charles, a British soldier who was part of the liberation forces at Bergen-Belsen.
Wow.
Must have been an incredible turning point.
It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there's still room for hope and connection.
Yeah.
And speaking of connection, Renee's journey to writing this memoir is interesting in itself.
Okay.
She met Kate Thompson, who's a journalist and a best-selling author on Kate's podcast called From the Library with Love.
Talk about serendipitous.
I know, right?
Kate is known for capturing lost voices and untold social histories.
Yeah.
So it just seems like a perfect pairing for this project.
Absolutely.
I'm curious, though, what made Renee decide to share her story now, after all these years?
Well, in Renee's own words, nearly 80 years since my liberation, I'm finally telling my story in full. It has been a hard but rewarding experience, but it was worth it to leave behind a permanent record of my experience of the Holocaust.
Wow.
You get the sense that there is a real sense of duty there.
Yeah.
A responsibility to ensure that these stories are never forgotten.
And it's not just Renee's story, right?
Right.
It's a tribute to her mother and to all the mothers who fought to protect their children during that time.
Exactly.
It reminds us of the power of those individual acts of courage and sacrifice.
It does, and it's a story that resonates far beyond the individual experience. Before we dive deeper into the critical acclaim this book has received, I just want to remind our listeners to subscribe to the Book Nook podcast and leave us a review.
Yes, please do that.
It really helps other book lovers like you find these incredible stories.
It really does. So I've heard some buzz around this book. What have critics been saying about A Mother's Promise?
The response has been overwhelmingly positive. I mean, critics are calling it a must-read. Praising Renee's courage in sharing such a personal and harrowing story. A lot of them are highlighting the raw emotion and the unique perspective on the mother-daughter bond.
Yeah. Do you have any examples? I always find those personal reactions so insightful.
Yeah, definitely. So Hazel Gaynor, author of The Last Lifeboat, said it's quite simply the most important book you will read this year.
Wow. That's high praise indeed.
Right.
It seems like the book is really resonating deeply with readers.
Yeah.
What other responses have you come across?
Anna Stewart, author of The Midwife of Auschwitz, described it as a beautiful account, so movingly told.
It sounds like Renee's voice really comes through in the writing. That's so important in a memoir, especially one dealing with such a sensitive topic.
Absolutely. And Natasha Lester, a New York Times bestselling author, summed it up beautifully, saying An unforgettable story about the power of love that proves to us that human beings are remarkable and endlessly inspiring.
That's what I find so compelling about stories like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they remind us of the resilience of the human spirit,
Mm-hmm.
our ability to find hope and love, even in the face of unimaginable suffering.
Yeah, it's a testament to the strength of the human connection, especially the bond between a mother and her child.
Yeah.
And it's not just these three authors. The praise has been echoed by many others,
Oh, wow.
including Elizabeth Bellack, Rachel Hoare, Julia Kelly, Joshua Levine, Madeline Martin, Lucy Adlington, and Heather Dune McAdam.
Wow, that's quite a list.
Each, highlights different aspects of the book, but there's a shared appreciation for its emotional depth and historical significance.
It seems like A Mother's Promise is really generating quite a conversation.
It is.
It makes me wonder, what do you think it is about this particular story that's captivating so many readers?
That's a great question. I think it's the combination of factors.
Okay.
You have the historical weight of the Holocaust, a topic that continues to demand our attention and understanding.
Right.
Then you have the deeply personal lens of a mother-daughter relationship, the universal theme that resonates with people from all walks of life.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, you have Renee's voice, honest, vulnerable, and ultimately hopeful.
Right.
It's a powerful combination that speaks to the enduring strength of the human spirit.
It sounds like a book that stays with you long after you finish reading it. And to me, that's a mark of truly great storytelling.
I agree. It's a story that prompts reflection, challenges perspectives, and reminds us of the importance of empathy and understanding.
Before we move on, I want to remind our listeners to subscribe to the Book Nook podcast and leave us a review.
Yes, please do.
We love hearing from you, and it helps other bookworms like yourself discover these fascinating stories.
It really does.
So for those eager to delve into A Mother's Promise, the official release date is February 13th, 2025.
February 13th, huh?
Yeah, that's just before Valentine's Day.
You're right. It's almost as if the release date was intentionally chosen to highlight the book's core theme, love, the unwavering love between a mother and her daughter, a love that defied the horrors of war and ultimately led to their survival.
That's a beautiful way to look at it.
Yeah.
It adds another layer of meaning to the release date. This idea of love as a source of strength and resilience during a time of unimaginable darkness.
And it speaks to the broader message of the book that even in the face of immense suffering, there's still beauty to be found, love to be shared, and life to be lived.
Yeah.
Renee's story is a testament to that.
It seems like A Mother's Promise offers a really unique perspective on this dark chapter in history.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about the horrors of the Holocaust,
Right.
but also about the enduring power of the human spirit and the importance of love and connection.
It's about finding hope in the midst of despair, courage in the face of fear and love in a world that often seems devoid of it. And that's a message we can all take to heart.
It's incredible to think that this story has been inside Renee for so long,
Yeah.
just waiting to be told.
Right.
I imagine it must have been a very emotional journey to put it all down on paper.
Oh, absolutely. And, the fact that she chose to frame it as a love letter to her mother just adds another layer of depth and poignancy to the narrative.
Yeah.
It's a testament to the enduring power of that bond.
And it makes me think about the importance of preserving these stories.
Right.
Of ensuring that future generations understand the human cost of events like the Holocaust.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about dates and statistics.
Right.
It's about the lives that were impacted,
Yeah.
the families that were torn apart, the dreams that were shattered.
You've touched upon a crucial point there. Memoirs like A Mother's Promise, they offer a personal window into history,
Right.
allowing us to connect with the past on a human level. They remind us that behind the historical facts, there were real people
Yeah.
with hopes and fears and dreams just like us.
And in Renee's case, her story also highlights the resilience of the human spirit.
Absolutely.
Even after enduring unimaginable horrors, she found the strength to rebuild her life, to find love, to create a family. It's a testament to the power of hope, even in the darkest of times.
It is. It's a reminder that even amidst great suffering, the human spirit can endure.
Yeah.
Love can flourish. Hope can prevail.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a powerful message that transcends the specifics of Renee's experience and speaks to the resilience of humanity as a whole.
It makes you think about the legacy of this book.
Yeah.
What do you hope readers will take away from Mother's Promise?
Oh, that's a great question. I hope it will inspire empathy,
Okay.
understanding, and a deeper appreciation for the human capacity for both great suffering and remarkable resilience.
Yeah.
I hope it will spark conversations about the importance of tolerance and compassion
Mm,
and the need to stand up against injustice in all its forms.
beautifully said. It sounds like this book is more than just a memoir.
Right.
It's a call to action, a reminder that we all have a responsibility to learn from the past and to work towards a better future.
Exactly. It's a reminder that the choices we make,
Yeah.
the values we uphold, and the actions we take can have a ripple effect, shaping not only our own lives,
Yeah.
but the world around us.
Well, if you're as intrigued by A Mother's Promise as we are,
Mm-hmm.
be sure to check out the link in the description to get your copy of the book.
Yes.
It's a story that deserves to be read, shared, and discussed.
And for those who want to continue exploring powerful stories like this one, be sure to subscribe to the Book Nook podcast
Yes.
and leave us a review.
Yes, please do.
We're always on the lookout for captivating books that spark conversation, challenge perspectives, and remind us of the power of the human spirit.
Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey into A Mother's Promise. We hope Renee's story has touched your heart and inspired you to embrace hope, love, and courage in your own life. Until next time, happy reading.